Hey, so I've decided I'm going to start reading through the book of Lamentations, and we're going to go from chapter 1, obviously, today. So, a little bit of a history. The book of Lamentations is believed to be written by the prophet Jeremiah and was written following the siege and destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BC by the Neo-Babylonian Empire, led by King Nebuchadnezzar II. So Jerusalem has fallen. Jerusalem, God's holy city, Israel's holy city, has fallen and is now, the people are in captivity. Solomon's temple has been destroyed. Just not a super fun time. Hence, we now have a book of poems or laments called Lamentations. So I'm just going to jump ahead straight away. I'm just switching versions to the New King James because I love the New King James. Different, obviously I'm in a different spot today too. I thought I'd do a little bit of an outdoor one. Bit chilly, enjoying the cold. We've got the fire on inside. I've got to keep quiet for the boy. So, let's start chapter 1, verse 1. So how lonely sits the city that was full of people. How like a widow is she, who was great among the nations. The princess among the provinces has become a slave. She weeps bitterly in the night. Her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers she has none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They have become her enemies. Judah has gone into captivity, under affliction and hard servitude. She dwells among the nations. She finds no rest. All her persecutors overtake her in dire straits. The roads to Zion mourn, because no one comes to the set feasts. All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her adversaries have become the master. Her enemies prosper, for the Lord has afflicted her, because of the multitude of her transgressions. Her children have gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion all her splendor has departed. Her princes have become like deer, that find no pasture, that flee without strength before the pursuer. In the days of her affliction and roaming, Jerusalem remembers all her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy. With no one to help her, the adversaries saw her and mocked at her downfall. Jerusalem has sinned gravely, therefore she has become vile. All who honored her despise her, because they have seen her nakedness. Yes, she sighs and turns away. Her uncleanness is in her skirts. She did not consider her destiny. Therefore her collapse was awesome. She had no comforter. O Lord, behold my affliction, for the enemy is exalted. The adversary has spread his hand over all her pleasant things, for she has seen the nations enter her sanctuary, those whom you commanded not to enter your assembly. All her people sigh, they seek bread. They have given her valuables for food, to restore life. See, O Lord, and consider, for I am scorned. Is it nothing to you, all who pass by? Behold and see. If there is any sorrow like my sorrow, which has been brought on me, which the Lord has inflicted in the day of his fierce anger. From above he has sent fire into my bones, and it overpowered them. He has spread a net for my feet, and turned me back. He has made me desolate and faint all the day. The yoke of my transgressions was bound. They were woven together by his hands, and thrust upon my neck. He made my strength fail. The Lord delivered me into the hands of those whom I am not able to withstand. The Lord has trampled underfoot all my mighty men in my midst. He has called an assembly against me, to crush my young men. The Lord trampled, as in a winepress, the virgin daughter of Judah. For these things I weep. My eye overflows with water, because the Comforter who should restore my life is far from me. My children are desolate, because the enemy prevailed. Zion spreads out her hands, but no one comforts her. The Lord has commanded concerning Jacob that those around him become his adversaries. Jerusalem has become an unclean thing among them. The Lord is righteous, for I rebelled against his commandment. Hear now, all peoples, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men have gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders breathed their last in the city, while they sought food to restore their life. See, O Lord, that I am in distress. My soul is troubled. My heart is overturned within me, for I have been very rebellious. Outside the sword bereaves, at home it is like death. They have heard that I sighed, but no one comforts me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that you have done it. Bring on the day that you have announced, that they may become like me. Let all their wickedness come before you, and do to them as you have done to me. For all my transgressions, for my sighs are many, and my heart is faint. Heavy stuff. It is a lament, after all. I thought it was quite interesting, starting in verse 5. Her adversaries have become the master, her enemies prosper, for the Lord has afflicted her because of the multitude of her transgressions. Her children have gone into captivity before the enemy. So Jerusalem fell to the Babylonians. And the way it's written, though, is it's not necessarily that they have won and overpowered Jerusalem. It is, and multiple times throughout as well, I noticed that her enemies prosper, for the Lord has afflicted her. Further down, they were talking about, where was it that I saw it? The yoke of this is verse 14. The yoke of my transgressions was bound. They were woven together by his hands, capital H, God, and thrust upon my neck. He made my strength fail. The Lord delivered me into the hands of those whom I am not able to withstand. The Lord has trampled underfoot all my mighty men in my midst. He has called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord trampled as in a winepress the virgin daughter of Judah. Verse 18, I think this sums it up. The Lord is righteous, for I rebelled against his commandment. Hear now, all peoples, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men have gone into captivity. So, yes, it was Nebuchadnezzar II that led the attack, that led the siege, and that led to the destruction of Solomon's temple and of Jerusalem. But all throughout, the reflection is that God allowed this. God remains in control. God remains all-powerful. There's no challenge that because, God's people have fallen, that God himself has. There's none of that. There's no questioning that God remains ultimate and in control. And basically saying, we have sinned against God. Jerusalem has sinned against God. We've become vile in the eyes of the Lord. And as a result, the Lord has allowed for us to be trampled underfoot and everything else that's sort of mentioned here. And the way that I sort of look at this in my own life and in my own country, honestly, there's a lot of struggle and there's a lot of disruption, there's a lot of hurt and suffering going on. But I personally don't question that the Lord is still in control. It looks and feels a lot sometimes like, that God's people are really copying the brunt of it. But I wonder, number one, again, there's no challenge at all from myself anyway, that God is in control. Even though, again, at times, if it doesn't feel like God is in control, perhaps God is allowing something to happen for a reason. And that's what I gather from this. So there's a lament, there's a sadness, there's a deep, heavy heartache for Jerusalem, but also an understanding that the Lord allowed it to happen as a result of where was it? Verse 5 again said it, I remember. Because of the multitude of her transgressions, her children have gone into captivity before the enemy. So a recognition that because we have sinned so greatly, God is allowing this to happen. Never once that God was less powerful at all. Always that God is in control and he has handed us over because we have sinned. Yeah. I may continue. I liked the First Thessalonians series we did. So I think we'll continue. Next week we'll do the second chapter in Lamentations. Let me know what you thought. If you have any anything else that I'd sort of not thought of, or the way that you've reflected on this and what God may be telling you. Ultimately, Lord, I pray that if there's anything that any of us need to be aware of, that you will make us aware of it. And I pray that even in times where things seem hopeless and things seem like maybe, we are losing, that we remember, no, you are ultimately in control. And we try and identify, Lord, what can we be learning? What could we be doing? What is your will for us right now in this moment? Thank you. I will see you next week, and hope you have a great week.